All right, the boys are back. We took a break. Season 0 of BitClout is over. Season 1 has officially started. Salil, how you feeling, man? Welcome.
I'm feeling great, man. Yeah, great to be here. So, can we call September 21st the official DeSo day?
DeSo Day. Yes, dude, today is absolutely epic. Um, yeah, how are you feeling after today's news?
Huge, man. This is huge, right? So many things to unpack. I'm super excited to be recording this show with you. But we were expecting a lot of stuff, right? Like over the last few weeks, last couple of months, there were so many teas that, oh, you know what, stuff is coming. There's new project coming, but almost no one had any idea. This was kept tightly under wrap and for a good reason, right? And then, boom, there are like a couple of new stories we will share, and also a lot of positive press, right? I don't remember, man, last time when we saw such positive press for DeSo slash BitClout. So I'm super thrilled.
Absolutely. So let's rewind it really quick for people that are watching, right? So BitClout started what, about 6 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a while. I think
Yeah.
March 1st is when we can start seeing some transactions on the blockchain. I think March 18th is when officially people start coming on board onto bitcloud.com. But you needed a password back then.
Exactly. So it's been a crazy 6 months. There's been a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of development, a lot of projects, a lot of things going on, and we've come to this point where it's September 21st. And
Yes.
we're starting to see the vision, right? Before the last couple of months, there's been a little bit of stagnant, things have kind of tapered off, but now we can see the vision. And it's pretty exciting. So let's break it down, Seal. Let us know. What was the first thing that we noticed today?
Yeah, so I think the first thing, and let me share my screen. So I'll bring on my screen this morning. I think around 7 a.m. Eastern, around that time frame, Diamond Hands made a post, and I think this is an epic post where he talks about DeSo.org, and I think there are a few different things to unpack here. There's DeSo.org. There's a new website. There is DeSo Foundation, and we'll talk about it. And then there's always been this question around all the money that was raised, the VC money that was raised, how is it being used?
Yes.
And he, touches on the $200 million treasury that was raised with Sequoia, Social Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, and a bunch of other investors, and how they will do it. So I think that's probably the biggest piece of story here. There's another big piece around Diamond Hands' identity. You want to talk about it?
Oh man. Okay, so something crazy happened, right? So this morning, keep in mind, I'm in Pacific time, so I get the news the latest. I woke up to a post by Diamond Hands here, who introduced someone, that may or may not be new to the community, that goes by the name of Nadir. So yeah, how do we feel about that, Salil? That's crazy news.
It is crazy news. Yeah, I think it was almost an open secret. Lot of people figured, expected, anticipated. It's Nader Al Naji, the person who famously ran another crypto project called Bases. So he's a crypto veteran. It's not the first time he's working on this. It's a very important project, and yeah, I think I would say a lot of people speculated it's going to be Nader, but I think very few people expected that the mask will be off, as they say today. So the mask came off, and Nader will be leading DeSo Foundation, and the new account I think that would be active on BitClout. It won't be Diamond Hands. The new account that would be active will be Nader's account.
Absolutely. So let's break down really quick before we go into Nader's account. Let's break down how's the community reacting to these news, because this is pretty epic news. I feel like the community has been wanting some transparency.
Yeah.
The platform needed a face, someone that they can kind of, look at as an image.
Yeah.
Diamond Hands was awesome, but we didn't know who was behind the scenes, and it got a lot of controversy. How is the community feeling? How are we feeling?
I think the community is very positive. I think the people, like everyone, is taking this news with a lot of joy and enthusiasm. I think it's a super positive news, and I think there are good reason for it, right? Like you said, over the last few weeks, I think we needed a shepherd. I think there was FUD all over the months, over the weeks, that BitClout is this and BitClout is that. Like it started by saying BitClout is a scam, right? And you need a strong voice that can, almost talk about it, give counter arguments. But it's challenging. If your founder is pseudonymous, I think it's challenging. And there were good reasons for Diamond Hands / Nader to be pseudonymous early in the game. just so that it's not about him, it's about the project. But I think over time, I think it makes sense that, there's a voice and people look at that person for leadership. It's such an important project. So I'm thrilled. I think the dev community is thrilled. What do you think? Like, how are creators feeling? People you've talked to, how are they?
I love it. First of all, myself, I'm super excited about this. I think just, everything coming into light, and I'm sure there's more things behind the scenes. A lot, again, the platform has been kind of stagnant the last month or so with fair reason. We knew they were building behind the scenes. So seeing this come to life and just seeing this open almost makes it feel surreal. It's exciting. Yeah. It's reigniting that fire in me. It's reigniting that fire in creators. I've seen a lot more posts. I think this is what we needed to gather the troops. So yeah, I'm excited. But let's talk a little bit more about DeSo, right? What is DeSo to people listening? What is it going to be? Is it BitClout? Is it not BitClout? Is clout still a currency? So let's look at the website. Let's pull up the website here for people to view here.
Let's pull up the website. I think first of all, I think it's superfluous, but I love the website design. I think it is, compared to before, I think it feels extremely polished, right?
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it clearly shows, right? There's been a design firm that's been involved. There's a lot of thought put into it, and not just thought on the UI UX feel to it, but let's just even take a step back, like calling it DeSo. And I think that's a brilliant move, right? Decentralized social. We know DeFi is a thing.
Yes.
Similarly, personally, I feel decentralized social is a thing, will be a thing in the near future. So calling the blockchain after the category, I think it's a masterstroke.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just looking at how polished it looks great. So let's scroll down a little bit. Let's break it down. So DeSo. So let's look at the numbers. Tell us a little bit what these numbers mean here, Salil.
Yeah, so 10,000 plus nodes have been downloaded. These are individual people who are running nodes. It doesn't mean these are active nodes. It's people who've downloaded the node and have run this project, which is amazing, right? Like, again, if you think about this thing started March 18. Nodes, I think, were not out until late April, early May. So between May till September, mid, 10,000 times developers have downloaded a node, experimented with it. I think it's huge, right? Let's look at the second number, 1.4 billion total transactions, transaction volume. This is all coin buys, coin sells, diamonds being given, diamonds being received, coin transfers, NFT bids getting accepted. This is everything combined. That's 1.4 billion of value that has changed hands just in a few short months. So
love that.
And here's the thing, right? I was looking just before we got here on CoinMarketCap. DeSo at this point is within the top 100 cryptocurrencies listed, right? Or by market cap, right? Its market cap is over 1.1 billion. In such a short period of time, I think it's done really well. In some sense, the quietness, the lull almost was, DeSo / BitClout was a victim of its own initial success. And people expected that, it's going to be busy and crazy every week. But these projects come and go in waves. We know that in crypto, right? So, but if you look at the numbers, these are super solid numbers.
Love it. My favorite number is the one here on the right, average cost per post. Being in the NFT world, gas fees, they add up. Seeing that number, I love that.
And here's the thing, right? Like, people will talk about, like, why do we need a new chain and why do we need a layer one chain? And that's exactly the reason, the number you called out, right? No one wants to pay, $1, $2 to like a post, to follow someone, to just even send out a post. And that's it's not even, I don't know, man, it's like 1,000 of a penny to send out a post. It's like super cheap, right? At this point. So so I think that's when you can feel, right? If you have $5 in your account, all you need is $5 in your account. And if you join DeSo, verify your profile, you get $10, you're set. If people create the FUD around, here's a product that you need to pay to use, a social media you pay to use, it's mostly a FUD argument. It's not really a true argument where, you really will need to take out a wallet. Just to like, follow, repost stuff, you would need money. That won't be the case. You want to invest, you'll need it. But if you're doing the same traditional functions of a social media, you're probably good with just the starting, DeSo that you would get.
Love that. So let's scroll down a little bit. Let's see what else is here. So there's one thing. So existing blockchains can't scale social apps. DeSo unlocks the next frontier for blockchain, and it's 100% open source, 100% on-chain data. So
Exactly.
this makes it unique to other currencies out there, right?
Exactly.
It's scalable. It's meant to become scalable through social apps.
Exactly, right? So other blockchains, someone can come and create a protocol on top of even Solana, let's say, or Ethereum, Polygon, Matic, right? But first of all, you will need to build all the features that the core team has built: the follows, the likes, the posts, the repost, everything. Social tipping, diamonds. And then on top of it, you need to make sure that the cost basis is fairly low, right? So there's a lot that needs to be done. And credit where credit is due, right? Like we've talked a lot that we needed someone to, take on a mantle, be the leader. But the credit is due where, in such a short period of time, the core team built out a protocol that scales well. It's fully open source. Nodes are being downloaded and it works seamlessly, right? For such a, like, I remember back in early Twitter days, and this is like 5, 10, 10, 15 years ago when Twitter started, you saw the fail whale every week, if not more, right? So I think these guys have done an incredible job, and they should be given a shout out for that.
Love it. Yeah, exactly. So let's look down a little bit here. So over 100 apps built on DeSo. So
exactly.
We have, this is where we want to talk about a little bit more. So BitClout is built on DeSo, Pulse, Flick, Polygram. So tell us, Leo, so is DeSo BitClout, or to someone that doesn't know, what is BitClout, what is DeSo, how does this combine? What's the difference here?
Yeah, so DeSo is a protocol, right? It's like HTTP, right? You go to a website, it's a protocol, and BitClout is built on top of that protocol. So if you don't like BitClout, that's fine. You may not like Pulse, and you may not like Prosper Cloud, or may not like any other product that's built on that protocol. It's like you may not like a website. You may not like. Here's the thing, right? If people don't like Facebook, they don't say internet is bad. They don't say HTTPS is bad. You don't like Amazon, or you don't like Netflix or Twitter or whatever. Pick a website. If you don't like website, you really don't go blaming the protocol and the internet overall. So if you don't like any of the products, right? Fair. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. And a lot of products will make mistake. But that's different from the protocol. The protocol essentially is for the creators. It's built by creators for creators, so that creators are able to monetize their skills, right? In whatever, like 6 months that I've been on BitClout or DeSo, I've probably made thousands of dollars, and I've made $0. I've been on Twitter for 10 years. I haven't made a penny on Twitter. And in 6 months on and I haven't made that money trading, by the way. Okay, it's not that I'm buying and selling. Most of the time, I'm basically building a product and sharing, posts, and people are giving diamonds, and people are, investing in the product that I'm building. But that's completely different than, what you would get on Facebook or Twitter.
Exactly, and that's actually well said. To someone like myself who doesn't have a dev background, I think you just painted the picture perfectly, where DeSo is just the foundation, and you can build many, many decentralized social media apps through DeSo. So the currency. So do we no longer have clout as currency? Is DeSo the main currency now?
DeSo is the main currency. I think actually they even changed it on blockchain. I think a little bit ago, it's not traded as DeSo. So one cloud is one DeSo, right? So your money is safe. If you held 10 cloud before the change this morning, you will have 10 DeSo. It's the same, the market rate is the same that cloud has. So one cloud just became one DeSo. It's just a tag name change, nothing more than that.
Love that. So that's exciting, man. I'm curious to see where this goes. This looks great. I'm sure developers are going to build on DeSo. And we've already have so many projects that are built on DeSo. So that's exciting to see. Let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend. Nadir, dude is a whale already. Let's look at the stats here. Let's break down the prosperclout.com stats here.
Let's look at the stats. And here's the funniest thing. Super funny. The founder, the creator of BitClout, DeSo, this whole, I would even say that he should be given a ton of credit for this decentralized social media movement. He's almost a legend in my mind for the decentralized social movement. His account age is 0. The account was created today. Matter's account was created this morning, and in half a day, he's gotten $500,000 in investment, guys.
Wow.
So, lot of money flowing into that account.
Wow. So his coin price is 7.53K as of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a whale now for sure.
Yeah.
And I saw your post earlier that you asked Diamond Hands to help verify him.
Exactly. So the funniest thing is he made the first post and he was engaging with people and there was no blue check mark.
Yeah.
Now his account wasn't verified. And I'm like, hey, Diamond Hands, if you're listening to this, I think we need one more verification. Probably the most important verification platform.
Yes.
Long behold, within 10 minutes, I think. It was probably him just switching accounts and verifying himself, but yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, let's break down the stats here. Let's look a little bit more here. So let's look at his, obviously data is fairly new because his account is less than a day old. So
yeah, data is fairly new. Things are still coming in. But yeah, like, I think this is an interesting one, right? Community amplification, just one day he's been on it. He's already received 400 plus mentions
wow.
or not even one day, man, half a day. And 134 of his posts has been reclouded. So pretty high community amplification for a brand new account. Already 300 plus coin holders already.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Some people bought and then bought again. In
20%.
Yeah, 1 in 5 bought and bought again. I was actually looking at what's his name, Mario. Mario posted this morning, oh, I'm putting 50K. And I think a few hours later, he's like, I'm putting 50K more. So it's like folks like Mario who's buying it. Oh, there you go. Create a fund. We were just talking about it, right?
There we go. Notable investors there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah. And I think he hasn't bought anyone's account, right? So Arnova probably gifted him, $9 worth of Arnova coin. I think that's his largest holder. But yeah, man, early days. I think the founder reward is set at 10%. But it's interesting, man. I think you can see all the recent trades, no trades by Natter. So yeah, I think it's just day one right now, but super exciting to see how the community has engaged with this new account.
Absolutely. This all happened this morning. So, we are still early to this. Chapter 1 of DeSo is here. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. I'm excited to see where this goes from here. So, there's so many things. There's good publicity. There's some traction being built here. So
100%.
I'm excited.
Two things I want to ask you, Maz.
Yeah.
One is, what do you think about the whole DeSo Foundation and the funds being allocated to creators, devs, NFT artists? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love it. I know. I think it's exactly what we need. And that's what I want to see is how these funds are allocated.
Yeah.
What the team has decided to do. There's some very talented devs in the community, and I'm sure there's some talented devs outside of the community. Yeah. So the best way for both is to have these funds, and help these projects start out, because the project is successful the more people build and the more people use on it, right? So the more people are building, the higher likely it's going to succeed. The more people come on and stay, same thing. So I'm excited to see how these funds are going to be allocated. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think everyone's very excited about that, right? I think and overall the community is super pumped, I think. And also just recently, we didn't touch on it, right? Like then there's an Ethereum bridge onto cloud, right? So the NFT world, I almost see that as a bridge to NFT world, right? And you've played a ton in the NFT community world, right? Do you think that's going to be exciting for NFT artists in the Ethereum world to explore BitClout or DeSo at least?
Absolutely. So we've had one big artist that I'm familiar with. Her name is Monica Rizzoli. She launched through Art Blocks a couple of weeks ago, and on Ethereum, her project just skyrocketed. She is the talk of the town, and she's been on BitClout this whole time, and she loves BitClout. She wants to help artists on BitClout. So connecting both areas like that, bridging both gaps, I think is awesome. And it's going to make it easier for big NFT whales to transfer, ETH into Clout. ETH into DeSo. And use that to, invest in creators or artists on the platform. So I think it's great that we're able to connect those gaps and bring, different people to the platform and make it easy, right? The biggest thing is how can we make it easy? So,
exactly.
Which brings me to my next thing, right? So I think a couple of things we want to see is how the onboarding process is going to
Yeah.
adapt. Any thoughts on that, Salil?
Yeah, I think, and I think here's the thing, right? So I would also want devs to take lead on it, right? So
Yes.
this is where we separate out the product or the applications from DeSo, right?
Yeah.
DeSo is the protocol. Now, how we make the onboarding simpler is not only the core team's job, it is for any dev, right? Like any node can onboard people. You don't need to be on bitclout.com, right? If
Yeah.
BitClout is one of the nodes run by the core team, there are so many other. Polygram is a node, Pulse is a node. There's so many other nodes that are running, or like other devs in the community. Tijan is running a node, GiftCloud, Raj Lahoti is running a node, right? So there are lots of people who are running a node. So I would love to see innovation leadership from the dev community on how that whole onboarding process can be simplified, especially now if you can move money from Ether onto DeSo. So I think that should definitely be helpful. But yeah, I think there is work to be done there. I think still the onboarding process is slightly slow, confusing. But a lot of it is education, right? Like whenever you create an account with MetaMask, they make it so simple that you feel comfortable. Okay, these are your 12 word phrases, right? And you need to keep them safe, and you click and you make sure that they emphasize that, right? Here, it's just a copy paste, right? Those are education content pieces. And I think you don't need the core team spending, their cycles on this, right? Like anyone should be able to do that. So I would look to basically dev community taking leadership on, simplifying the onboarding. But I'm very confident, right? There should hopefully be some updates to BitClout or some other main nodes as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's a lot of exciting stuff, man. So I'm excited for the first step today. So we are back. We're going to be shooting these videos every week. There's a lot of new things to cover. There's a lot of new people joining the platform. So I'm excited to be here and do the show with you. So we will be back at least once a week.
Yeah.
And let's do it, man.
Absolutely. And as a community, over the last 6 months, 4, 5, 6 months, like you've been part of BitClout, tell us what you want to see more. And if you're just joining, what are some questions that you have, right? What content can Maz and I create so that we make your journey, easy, happy, successful? So just tell us, drop us a note below, and we'd love to, create content around that.
Absolutely. So we'll be back. Thank you all for watching. If you're still watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up, follow us, and yeah, connect with us. We're always on BitClout. We're active there. So yeah, just let us know. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will catch you on the next episode. Peace.